Welcome to Fido Live number 96. Now, nobody, and I repeat, nobody has seen Fido Live 95, Planet Fido, because, well, it's still processing on YouTube and Rumble. These are competing companies, so that for some reason, neither will allow Fido Live 95 to come out. And this is the one in which I talked about possible hints of life found on a distant planet, and how I didn't like how it was named K218b and I wanted to name it Planet Fido. But I guess you guys will never hear of it. So that is that. Maybe someday you people will be able to see Fido Live 95, but I doubt it. The way things are going. All right, we are still Sans chief colorist. She recovered well from her operation, but she is at least 6 weeks away from us. So we're not going to see her probably until my birthday. A long time in the future. So let me go through what we have. Friday 7. There we go. And then I want to get to more old business, and we'll start some new work. Here is Monday the 13th. We have everyone sitting around the table, and Fido says, "Ugh, what's that?" Pointing at Felicia's thing. "Oh, it's just a hairball." "Oh, what do you got?" "Oh, I don't know, some chunky phlegm. Maybe vomit." "Do you two mind? We're trying to eat here." And Dino's already, kind of rough here. Throws up on the table. "Oh, that's a good one." And Fido says, "You gonna eat that?" Oh, there's Monday. Here is Tuesday. We brought back the cats from downstairs. This is Catherine, the crazy cat woman, talking to Dino, who's been trying to pick her up. "As a pet parent, the nutritional standards of what I feed my cats are important. Meat! We need meat! I only give my fur babies the finest food possible. We're starving. That's why I choose Happy Cat brand vegetarian cat food. Hey, there's a mouse!" And the cats fight over the mice. The mouse, "Give me, that's mine." I saw it first. I see, vegetarian cats. Here is the Wednesday. We have Fido and Felicia in the foreground. Bo's up there in the background. And Fido says, "I'm man's best friend 3 times a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner." "I'm sitting over here. I can hear you." "Good. Get me dinner, pal." Here is Thursday. Felicia says, "I have a cat card trick." A cat card trick? "Sure, pick a card." Okay, she leaves a deck of cards on the table. He picks a card. "What do I do now?" And she tosses the deck onto the floor. "I don't care." That's a cat card trick. Okay, here's the Friday. We have to ink it today. Where are they on Friday? They're in the bar. We have Dino, Fido, Bo, Cat Boss in the foreground, but he's not part of this. Fido saying, "Why am I here?" Sort of an existential question for everyone, but Fido just means, "Why am I in the bar?" And Bo explains, "Well, dogs are social creatures. If we leave you home alone, it will cause you stress." "Why does Felicia get to stay home alone then?" "She's a cat. If she was here, she'd cause us stress." There's something we got to work on today. And here's the Saturday. I kind of like my new character here. and never use him again. But Fido meets another dog and says, "Hi, yo. That your human?" "Yeah, that yours?" "Yeah. You got a big one there, huh?" "I guess, but you know what they say. It's not how big your human is. It's what you do with it." Ha 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 ha. All right, so we've got to work on these two today. I've already done most of the work, just a matter of inking the characters. And we need to pick out a brush. So where are our brushes? Over here. Let's see. We need something with a good tip. Now, these brushes have served us well during the week. Let me see what... yeah, I might go back to this one, because this was this was a good brush yesterday for some reason. See, these brushes are made with the finest Himalayan tree squirrel pubic hair. That's why they're so expensive, because we have to send a Sherpa up the mountain to denude the squirrel. And, well, squirrels, it's cold up there. You know, they don't want to lose their pubic hair. Ink. And we're just about running out of ink. We're going to have to replace the ink sometime next week. I'm sure you'll enjoy the whole process of me using this eyedropper to deposit ink into that bottle. Yes, it's a fascinating video, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. But we won't do we won't do that this week. So my bit here is I need to get a piece of paper to put down on the page so that I don't smear the pencil marks. Now, of course, I could use a blank piece of paper, but where's the fun in that? Let's start with some old business. Gary Beagler. You people might remember that I admitted to stealing a joke from him, and I must have stolen it from him because it's too much of a coincidence for me to have come up with the same joke at the same time. Perhaps I'll get back to that in a minute. A joke being, oh look, they made Babes, a sequel to that wonderful film about that pig. And then I pause and as if I'm listening to someone off screen, and I discover, what? It's a sequel to this film? Oh, never mind. So I gave Gary credit. I said, okay, yeah, sure. Maybe he came up with the joke first. And then suddenly, he makes an observation that I made long ago. And here's the original piece of paper where I compared Putin to Bob Iger. And one of my biggest things was Medvedev was put in place to hold Putin's job, much like Bob Chapek was put in place to hold Iger's job. Now, I've done the comparison of Putin and Iger for the longest time. And Gary suddenly comes up with a comparison of Putin. Yeah, okay. I'm positive Gary's never heard of me. Gary Beagler from New York has never heard of me. Has never heard me make the comparison. So I'm going to defend myself over stealing the babe joke, saying that I think that we're just on the same wavelength. I don't think Gary stole my observation any more than I stole his joke. So, cut me some slack. I think Gary and I were just sort of on the same wavelength at that particular moment in time. As predicted, the Suicide Squad, this wonderful video game that looks like a mess, has lost $200 million. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Now for more fun. Here is our Superman. Mr. Cornsweat. Well, my first observations. We're missing half of this because he's got these boots here that look kind of wanky. He's putting on his boots. Well, I guess devastation's happening in the background. He doesn't seem to be at all in a rush. Remember, Superman used to run into a phone booth to change, or even what's his name? Christopher Reeve ran to some revolving doors to do a quick change into Superman. Well, this Superman is, sitting down calmly, putting on this, messy, distressed Superman suit. I guess the best thing we could say is it looks like it has the underwear. But the thing hardly fits him. Look how it's all wrinkly. It's already distressed and damaged, and it looks like he's wearing like a sweater here. It just it's a dark, dour, dreary Superman suit that reminds me of the stuff that Schneider was doing. And we got in the background here, well, Armageddon happening, coming out of the sky. That looks like I'm guessing that's Brainiac, the robot brain from Krypton. That's probably the villain, I don't know. But Corn Sweat probably could use a more heroic. He's got little. Look at how the eyebrows kind of angry. He doesn't quite have a smile. He's dour. Lighting inconsistent. Let's see. Wait a minute. Lighting's coming from that side, and okay, yeah, I suppose. What we got going on here is just a shadow from his arm. Yeah, the Superman suit looks like it needs some dry cleaning. Well, he's got his underwear and maybe even a utility belt going on under here. Who knows? Well, why did you get rid of Henry Cavill? Because he looks a lot like Henry Cavill. You want a younger guy. Okay. We have the high neck area here. It's a characteristic of the comic book. New stuff in the comic book. And I don't know why they do look at all these lines going on here, like veiny things and the textures on the suit. That's just, I guess, to provide some. Are these knee pads? The Superman wears knee pads. And yeah, knee pads and shoulder pads. Yeah. Okay. I've been worried about this film because I know they're never going to allow Superman to rescue Lois. So this is worry 2. We have worry 1 and worry 2. Yes, I'm worried about Superman. How nice. The Russians have their May 9th parade. That's when they celebrate the end of, it's not really the end of World War II. It's the end of the war they had with the Germans. You see, I hate to point this out, but World War II started when Germany and Russia became buddies and tried to split up Poland. They were the bad guys day one. Then when Germany stabbed them in the back, obviously they suddenly became good guys. Or whatever. So a Soviet T-34 tank, the only tank on display in Russia's Victory Day parade on May 9th, 2023, rolls through Red Square. They were really hurt in the nutsack when Ukraine was showing all the damaged Russian armor in their square. So Russia had to get back, and they were showing all of the captured Western armor. And, the stuff looks like it's in remarkably good shape, as opposed to the stuff the Ukrainians were showing, because, when they captured these things, they more or less destroyed them. And I don't know the situation where they captured these things, but they didn't destroy them. So that's like really good. So next time the Russians bring out their new T-40 Armata tank and it breaks down in the street, they can use one of these Leopards or something to tow it away. So hey, we're always happy to help you. You can use. You don't have any. This is the British Challenger. You don't have any of them because the British haven't been able to give you very many of them because they're too busy giving money to Disney. But you certainly, you probably have a nice Leopard here that could tow your tank off the square. So you're welcome, Russia. All right, enough of that bullshit. We have Kim Kardashian. She was at the Tom Brady roast and was booed for about a minute or so, and then Netflix famously censored that entire boo. But everyone heard it. Everyone knows it's there. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian. Here is a young Kim, and here is what we're dealing with today. Well, it looks like she's had some work done in the nose. The nose is definitely turned up a little bit. She's had look at how look at how fluffy that lip is. She's had a lot of work done on that lip, and the chin, where it goes here, is more pointier when she was younger. So I don't know what happened to the point, but oh well. And of course, look at all the veins. I mean, she might as well have she might as well have her father Bruce Jenner's Adam's apple, or stepfather here. And well, she's gone from crystal to cross. And so she's the crystal power in her youth, but now she's a Christian. That's nice. And well, the eyebrows. She's always done a lot of work on her eyebrows back in the old days, but now the eyebrows have become like surreal. They're pointy at one end, and they come in sort of hard, where she was a little more natural in the past. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, the hair. Oh, now look at the size of the forehead. Let's get our Post-it note in here. Wait. Let's do some measurements. Okay, I always love to do the measurement between the eyes. So let's start with that. And Kim's measurement between her eyes is nearly perfect. I'll give her that. But let's... Yeah, okay. But it's a forehead that I wanted to look at. So let's go from the top of the skull to the top of the eyebrows. And we'll compare that to... Well, that's about the size of her... Okay, that's the same size from her eyebrows to her nose. Now, in the old days, top of the skull to the top of the eyebrows, yeah, it's a 1/3 the distance. So she's got a 5 head here where she had a 4 head here. So her hair is much further back on her skull, probably from all this hair treatment. See, she's got this horrible looking stringy dry platinum blonde hair, where in the past she had these luscious dark locks. So she's done a lot of damage to her hair, and her hairline is receding. Hey Kim, this is the wall. Okay, Kim? Yeah, she's done a lot of damage to her hair. She did something to her chin, upturned her nose, been plucking the hell out of her eyebrows, and we don't even get to see her ears anymore. She likes to show her ears in the past, and she's found God, as opposed to the crystal bullshit she was going through as a young girl. Well, nice to see you, Kim. I don't think we'll ever see you again. Oh, now for more fun. This is Stormy Daniels. These are two of the sketch artist impressions of Stormy Daniels. They're doing this poor woman wrong. Donald Trump has been assuring his followers that she was much hotter when he had her. Look at these poor pictures. Look at these horrible pictures. But all I can say is the sketch artist is looking to do a tilt on the head. So let's see if we, as cartoonists, can do a better job at Stormy Daniels than these police sketch artists have. Really, if you're a police sketch artist, could you find this woman from any of these photos? Now, these are courtroom artists, so they've got to be impressionistic. I mean, poor Stormy. Look at what they've done to her neck. Even her neck is not that bad. I think she even has an Adam's apple in this one. So the sketch artists have done Stormy wrong. Yes, she does have a perpetual bitch face, with the frown. But let's see if we can do a better job with Stormy Daniels than they have. Now, I'm going to bisect the face. We're going to have her looking off into the future as if she's inspired. Now, the nose would normally be here. Eyes there and mouth there. And though we don't see it, the ear is about there. So the ear is the same. It starts from the bottom of the nose, ends to the top of the eyes. Now, let's see if we can do a better job drawing Stormy Daniels than the police sketch artists have. The first thing I notice is the nose. They all want like a triangular nose, and she doesn't have a triangular nose. Her nose is long and got that on the bottom, so I'd probably do that to represent her nose. The eyes have always been these dark pits of evil that you never see anything from, and I wouldn't say that her eyes are dark pits of evil. They're heavy lidded. See how thick that lid is? So let's get that lid a little bit thicker here. And it doesn't exist over there. And all right, so here's her eyes. And the eyebrows, as well, both of these pictures seem to have Stormy wearing these square-rimmed glasses, which is something that a sketch artist would have to love. I don't have the glasses. Now, let's bring the mouth up a bit more here because there's not that much space. And she does have a prominent lower lip. I guess that's from all those years doing porn. And then the hair comes down there. And let's get the proper shape of the face. Square. She does have a square jaw, which, well, I don't know what the hell this artist was thinking here, because he did the jaw like that. But this one seems to come close to catching her jaw. Which, actually, let's do a circle here. And there is Stormy's jaw. And let's see, the hair does a feather off the side. All these feathery things, and look how it comes down on all these cascades of curls. This is purposefully, but she's got these linebacker shoulders. So she, let's see, there's the neck with a potential Adam's apple space here, and she V's it out, but there's this button here, so she's very conservative. And yeah, look at the stress on that button. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that button is straining to hold back those breastises. But her shoulders, like a linebacker, they're huge. She's not even wearing shoulder pads. And I think that's what this artist captured, but this one did not. So, let's see. And the hair is just sort of doing all these wonderful little loops and circuits and I'm surprised that none of them spent any of the time in the hair, because Stormy, I think she thinks she's all about her hair. It's this dry sort of blondish flyaway garbage hair that reminds me of Nicole Brown Simpson, actually. And it gets darker up here. And let's see, let's do that side of the face has got sort of a contoured shadow, as does that. Okay. So after 2 minutes, I think we've done a better representational picture of Stormy Daniels than the two professional courtroom artists have. You're welcome, Stormy. We're here for you. Bringing out my oldest piece of paper of the time. Disney purchased $1 billion worth of stock during the recent proxy battle. correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that stock manipulation? SEC, could you check in on someone call the SEC? Yeah, you okay? Thank you. Check in on this. This sounds like it sounds a little fishy. And hey, we are through everything. Damn it. And I don't even know what I'm going to use as a piece of paper. Sorry, I'm just going to pull back Disney here. So I have something to rest my hand on. I don't. Cartoonists are the dirtiest, filthiest creatures on the face of the planet, so I got to wear a glove here. And are we really stuck with Steamboat Mickey? Steamboat Willie? Is there anything else you want to talk about before that? I thought Stormy Daniels would take longer. I don't know. Are we still recording? Yes, we're 26 minutes into this. All right, let's try to get some work done. Irving, on camera 1, could you pull in closer here so that people can see what's going on? That's close. Gee, since we have Steamboat Willie here, we're probably going to have to talk about Disney again. Oh no. Let's start with the cat boss down here, because there's no reason whatsoever that the cat boss is in this strip this week, but it's his bar. My only guess is one of the reasons, maybe, why last week's Fido, Planet Fido, is still going through processing, is because I had long periods of silence whilst I was drawing. And maybe they thought that my audio went out and thus it wasn't a finished product. I couldn't tell you. So maybe I have to just continue talking whilst I draw here. Either way, this is going to be a shorter show, because if they're not going to allow me to show them, why spend all the time? It's going to take me a while until I trust both Rumble and YouTube again. But as it currently stands, it looks as if you folks will never ever see last week's Fido Live 95. That's too bad. It was one of the best. It didn't have the chief colorist, who is today just leaving the intensive care ward. They've given her own private room to carry on with her life. But she's got an infection. They've got to find a proper antibiotic. So that's going to take, and then there's a 6-week treatment of the antibiotic. So I can't even think about seeing her for at least another 6 weeks. During that time, they'll be teaching her how to walk again, and how to be human again, how to laugh again, live life and love and do all that stuff that human beings do. And I'm sure rehab's fantastic teaching humans. Alright, let's get Dino's t-shirt here. It's actually only black on the page, so he'll be what draws the eye, even though Fido is in the center and Fido is the one talking. Actually, I can do his word balloon now while I'm at it. Word balloon's just parentheses, and it's sort of a rounded square. Now, can I get Fido's nose done properly here? More or less. We've got him sort of acting exasperated. Why am I here? So it's not one of those eternal questions like, why is the sky blue, or why does an ocean wave? Why am I here? No, he's just asking why he's here at this particular bar when the boys have drinks and, well, he doesn't. You're here because it's your comic strip, and we're at the bar every Friday, so you've got to be here. It's also a larger meta commentary because the actor who plays Fido in the comic strip doesn't like to work on Friday, and I usually show that in one way or the other. He either disappears early in the joke or arrives late. That's a reflection of myself when I was a kid working for a family business. I did not like to work on Saturdays, and that was the day in which the company got most of their work done because we were able to corral in help of other family members who had real jobs and couldn't afford to work for us during the normal week. Yeah, back then they needed health insurance, which, well, we did not provide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most of those family members have completely left this state of Massachusetts because it's a tough state to make a living in. Let's put it that way. Make it in Massachusetts? Maybe. It depends what you're making. As the old presidential candidate Mike Dukakis once pointed out, he's going to make good jobs at good wages. All right, Mike. The only job that a politician can make is the sort of job you don't want made. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And when I originally drew this, for some reason, I put Bo on the left and Dino on the right. You can't see any of the erasures now, but obviously a description, a mansplaining like this is something that Bo does. So I don't know what I was thinking. I had to switch the characters around. Someone who would say lines like "dogs are social creatures. If we leave them alone, it'll cause you stress." That's not something that should come out of Dino's mouth. But Bo is usually on the left, so that's where I put him. The reason being, usually the character on the left talks first. It's all. Istrip has a little bit of a challenge in the blocking, in that we have two tall human characters against all these shorter animal characters. And just look at what the script is, and try to put the person who talks first on the left. It's sort of like the old NASCAR joke. You go to the corner, you take a left. You go to the next corner, you take a left. Go to the next corner and take a left. The character on the left speaks first. Because we read from left to right. Now, yeah, if I did this strip in the Middle East, I'd be working from the right to the left, so I could. But actually, I think comic strips are illegal out in the Middle East. You can't draw images of humans or gods, something like that. But officially, Fido the comic strip does not get political. I'm not going to say that the Middle East is a bad place for cartooning, but there are better places. Recently got a a hello from Argentina, so we have a Fido fan in Argentina. Lovely to hear from him. All right, now we got to get the bar here through the glass, but if as I touch that edge, I still want to give the impression of this being a glass. So it's a sort of a special effect here. There we go. And I look like a. Yep, that's a special effect. And there's our hero Fido. Probably a mistaken naming when you think about it, because people see PHYDEAUX and they think, yeah, they don't know phonics, so they can't pronounce the word. But then when I say Fido, they understand. All right. Oh, welcome back to Chris Gore. He had a stroke out there in Las Vegas, and this morning he's made his appearance on Film Threat, or his reappearance on Film Threat. He kind of looks a bit like Santa Claus. Chris has always been like a baby-faced, young-looking guy, and now he looks horrible. He looks a little bit like Tim Allen did in the Santa Claus when he started gaining all that weight in the beard. All right, now, yeah, you can almost see where I had the Dino mustache. There's not much of a difference between Dino and Bo. It's more or less the same nose. You would think they were related, but I made Dino a circular face where Bo is a square face. My own little Ernie and Bert here, as it were. And 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My tribute to Robert Crumb is the hash marks through the hair here. It was also 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was also sort of me being cheeky in making it as difficult to animate as possible, because stuff like that cross mark in the hair is just not going to work in traditional hand-drawn animation, because no one can do it right, and you're probably going to have a chatter. So I'm fully aware of that, having worked in animation. And you would think, I don't want this comic strip animated. Au contraire, young man, I have actually written a script for a very Fido Christmas. Charlie Brown had a Christmas special. Why can't Charlie Brown Snoopy had a Christmas special. Why can't Fido? Alright. And since the cup is here, we might as well draw that. I'm just drawing the main characters here, and then later I'll go back and do the word balloons and then the backgrounds. The reason being, I want the characters to sort of pop off the screen, and actually most of these backgrounds here are done with a ruler anyway, so it's kind of lifeless. Alright, moving right along to the third panel, and this way, Willie. What the hell? Let's get Willie the hell off the page. Hey, Stormy, you doing anything? I know if I put Stormy Daniels here, I'll have a little bit more to say, I suppose. Yeah, let's bring Stormy down to our level, as if that's necessary. I have not watched a minute of this trial. Life is too short to waste on show trials. Yes, Donald Trump slept with her. Yeah, Donald Trump paid her for sex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is anyone surprised at this? She was hotter then. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't pay her now. Well, Donald's an older man now. And I don't even think he was married back then. None of my business. I don't care what he does in his bedroom. I'm just happy that it was a woman. Okay, now the okay, the official the official opinion of Fido the comic strip has nothing to do with whether Donald Trump has sex with a man or a woman. We don't care. It's none of our business what he does in his bedroom. I guess they're trying to pull some sort of bribery, or it wasn't bribery. He was just paying a prostitute. If anything, Stormy should be charged in the vice squad. Whatever. They think they're gonna hurt the guy's chances of being president, and yeah, you're just igniting his base. Yeah, this is not a good idea. You're using what? The Justice Department for political means. But what the hell are these courtroom sketch artists thinking? Are they purposely trying to be insulting? Alright. Is Fido's head too large here? Good question. Yeah. Usually goes from there to there. Circle. No, it's alright. Okay, never mind. I thought I might have drawn Fido's head a little bit too large here. I'll cut back on the nose a bit and bring that first whisker back here. And maybe that will make me feel happy. And why are we here? To make me happy. If I'm not enjoying myself, this is not worth doing. Alright, let's get the rest of him in here. Yeah, I gotta get rid of Stormy Daniels. I can't have her on the page. Oh my goodness, are we going Kim Kardashian? We are going Kim Kardashian. Hey, Kim. Thank you for joining us. I'm really sorry for giving you a 5 head and noticing that you suddenly become a Christian. I wonder if she thinks she's going to heaven, if there is a heaven. Because in the classical mode of everything that is Christianity, I don't think she's an exemplar of any of their practices or behaviors. Well, okay. If she thinks she's going to heaven, I guess she doesn't want to have to meet her father. Because Robert Kardashian is not there. What else can we say about Kim? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And amazing how that works out all the time. I'm going to grab a little sip of soda here if you don't mind. Wow. When did I start calling it soda? Wow. And I even say it with that horrible Boston accent. Soda. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Even, it even makes me cringe when I say that word. All those years in college trying to get rid of the Boston accent. My father spoke with a very pronounced Bostonian accent. He was traveling somewhere down south, and this was back in the days when they had the Polaroid land camera that took a picture and a photo came out instantly, and it had on top of the camera this 4 or 5, this rectangular thing with 4 or 5 flashes in it. It was called a flash bar. But he went into the store asking for a flash bar. And the lady behind the counter could not understand what the fuck he was talking about. A flash bar? What's a bar? Oh, you mean flash bar, which made my father cringe. That's a difficult joke to explain. They don't even make the Polaroid land camera anymore, do they? Named after Edward Land, the inventor. All right, and we're almost through this one. Let's see. Can I just move that to the right? Yeah, okay. I'm still in frame. Just knocking poor Miss Kardashian off. Yeah, there we go. That's good. We must have as much FaceTime for Miss Kardashian as possible. She spent a lot of money on that face. And I'm trying to not have too many long silences because I think that may be related to why last week's still hasn't been cleared for broadcast. Which kind of sucks because I wanted that planet named after Fido. Now no one will know. And the planet that we found life on, with that horrible name, needs a better name. And what better name is there than Fido? Let's continue the campaign here. Planet K2-18b is the name of the planet. Data from the James Webb Space Telescope has shown that an exoplanet around a star in the constellation Leo has some of the chemical markers that, on Earth, are associated with living organisms. But these are vague indications. No, they're not vague indications. There's life on that planet, and that planet should be named Fido. Now, NASA, get to work right away, and people of the world, I really think that the planet needs a better name than K218b, right? Wouldn't you agree with me? I said no one will see last week's Fido the comic strip. Yeah. I'll try to do some of the highlights of some of the better jokes if I can remember any of them. Yeah, it was all a blur to me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see, Dino's not completely bald. All right, let's carry on with Fido. So I think it's really cool. It is life in the universe. We are not alone. I don't think it's intelligent life. And I'm going to refrain from making the same joke about Earth. But I don't think there's a cartoonist up there on K218b looking back at Earth asking that Earth be named after his comic strip character. Alright, let's get Bo in here. Yep, there's enough room on the page. And Bo is like behind the signature. I put the signature there and on that angle on every comic strip because, well, that's where my childhood cartooning idol Burke Breathitt from Bloom County puts his signature. And I say childhood, but really high schoolish. I wonder if kids in school know comic strips exist anymore. Probably not. Actually, do they exist anymore? No, actually they don't. Never mind. Okay, problem asked, problem answered. Yeah, no. Kids in school do not know that comic strips exist anymore because, well, they don't. Alright. Brief return to the button-down shirt for Mr. Bogash here. He's been wearing t-shirts for the longest time. And let's get... Now most of this is behind the signature, so I could be pretty quick and expressive. And there's the bar napkin. Alright, that is done. Let's put that someplace up to dry, and we can take a look at the Saturday comic strip. I just had to pull a... hold on for a second. Just had to pull an Audible and make 2 new characters out of nowhere. These 2 will probably never appear again, or who knows? Maybe they'll end up with their own comic strip. But we have a slightly aging man here with the big, thick pop bottle glasses. This guy looks a little bit like my uncle. My cousin, but we call him Uncle. My Uncle Billy Quinn. Which is why I gave him a necklace, which is right down here. Billy has red hair, and I'm pretty sure if the chief colorist ever does color this in, she'll never get that detail. Okay, there's There's Billy, Uncle Billy. And see, he would, if you wore a button-down shirt like this, he would take the lapels and put them over his sweater here. And he'd have the shirt open, the button in the front. 2 buttons, 3, 4, 5 buttons. And then the sweater there, and these sweaters have like all sorts of wrinkles, and it's that elastic band thing on the wrist. So yes, there's entirely too much detail in something that small. And he's got one of these canes that stand on their own. Maybe you've seen them. They're all in the center of the aisle at the supermarket, left forgotten behind. I understand how they leave their canes behind. It's not just an old age thing. When I had my hip replaced for a while, I had to walk with a cane, and I was constantly forgetting it everywhere. Not a matter of senility. Well, maybe it is. Alright, this dog looks a little bit like Petey, if anyone might remember. When Fido went on strike many years ago, they brought in a scab. But I assure you it's not Petey. Fido already got his revenge upon Petey. And you get a little paw up here for a wave. What the hell? If dogs can stand on 2 feet and talk, they can wave. And something you don't see very often in Fido comic strip, this dog has a tail. Fido had his own tail chopped off as a puppy. Alright, there's that character. Yeah, I wanted to do an establishing shot, so this is from a distance away. They're at a outdoor hot dog stand. And we got a planter over here, we've got an order sign, and some sort of architectural details going on to give the background some interest. Actually, let me do the word balloon here, because the arrow does sort of cut across the characters a little bit. And I need to define how that arrow goes. It's just in front of the human's face there. It's pretty damn close. Alright. Almost out of Coke. Coca-Cola. Let's just check, and yep, we are almost an hour in. And I see Irving the cameraman is shaking just slightly. I must have... Is it my breath? Yeah, I'm breathing on the camera, I think, and that's what's making it shake. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing how that works out all the time. Oops, let's get a little bit of darker line there. So Bo is buying a hot dog for Fido. That's why they call them hot dogs. You feed them to dogs. And let me get that word glued in too, because that's pretty close to Bo's head. And rather than saying hi back, Fido is being cool. He's using the famous Sylvester Stallone-like dialogue. Yo. I often imagine that, when dogs talk to each other, they're probably pretty casual about it. None of this hello. They're just sort of like, what up, sort of stuff. A little nod. Actually, that's not really true. When you see dogs in real life, they're fascinated by each other. Never draw your characters that small. So we're going on, this is our 4th week without the chief colorist. This is becoming a problem. All the comic strips now are black and white again. And I suppose she's going to have a backlog to go back and color everything, so, for the website, FidoTheComicStrip.com, which I've been trying my hardest to run. Just not doing very well. There we go. All right, next panel. Yeah, I didn't bother reading much of this story in last week's episode. Working out how much light hits K2-18b is important for accessing the planet's potential for life. K2 and 18b orbits a star closer than Earth does. It's roughly 16% the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Another measurement we need is the star's power output. Yeah, this entire article is about how the Webb telescope figured out that there is life on the planet. I don't know, I was pretty innocent as a kid. And I was saying, well, why can't we just look at the planet with a telescope? All right. The chief colorist will probably never see this show, but make his hair red. I used to, as one of the bits for these shows when the chief colorist doesn't show, I hit the camera, sorry about that, was to call her. Oh, I can't. I was going to give her a call to, get her onto the show so we have some content. But it's 2:40 in the morning. I don't think she'd appreciate a phone call. I record this the day before. See, that's why it's so quiet. None of my neighbors are screaming. No police, no fire. The street's silent. This is the time to get work done. 2, 3, 4, and the fifth will be up there. Alright. Now we get to see that the cane here has a right angle turn to it. And I probably should be doing this with a ruler, but nah. Gives it more character if it's less than perfect. And Billy here is wearing a belt. Because, why not? And his pants have cuffs to them, as he's a short man, and you never make pants the right size for short men. For Christ's sakes, I'm 5'10". I'm not really short, and they don't make pants the right size for me. Yeah, I went to a lot of work for these two throwaway characters when you think about it, actually. But if they weren't distinct, if they weren't interesting to look at, it hurts the comic strip. And plus, it's fun. And it makes me happy. And why are we here? To make me fucking happy. You're right. Yeah, that's correct. Alright. And I think I originally drew the tail, so it curved down and came back up. But that's my habit with cats' tails. Dogs' tails, like, hit the ground flat. They don't have that expressive snake-like movement to it. Dogs are much more direct, really. You can tell what they're thinking just from their tail. It's either straight, underneath their butt, or wagging. That's 3 positions: under the butt, straight, or wagging. So 2, 3. And I should try to avoid long silences, because I think that might be the reason why last week is still going through pending. I don't know what they're calling it. Yeah, onward and upward. I'm not going to complain to either Rumble or YouTube for their inactivity in publishing last week's. I'm just going to bitch and complain here. All right. Let me draw the word balloon here before I draw Bo, because in this case he's behind the balloon. And, usually the characters will bleed into the balloon, but not this time. Right about there. All right. Come back to us, Steamboat Willie. Oh, we're going to have to come up with a title for this week. Geez, I just thought of that. It's almost over, and I haven't come up with a title. Let's see, what have we done? Have we done any... we played with Stormy Daniels, and we played with Kim Kardashian. Here's the camera again. There's Kim, there's Stormy, there's Kim as a girl. And, ooh, I did write a 4. The rules here of naming Fido Live is whenever I write something down, it's generally in the title. Am I going to have to call this a 4-head or 5-head? Where is Kim? And we did draw Stormy. So, drawing Stormy? Yeah. Maybe. We can call it Drawing Stormy. That's a obscure enough title. Stormy drawing Stormy. Well, hopefully before I finish these last 2 panels, we come up with a title for this. Almost dropped my ink bottle there. That would have been bad. Now, I'm sure her real name isn't Stormy, but what kind of porn name is Stormy? Never thought of it. In fact, I've never seen her perform. And I'm not sure if I was a billionaire like Mr. Trump, whether I would actually pay a porn actress for sex. That's like not a good idea, Mr. Trump. I mean, you're not exactly going where no man has gone before. Alright, let's get that belt done. And yeah, we're probably going to have to call it Drawing Stormy. Because these sketch artists being hired by the courts don't seem to be doing the job. You think the sketch artists are Trump supporters? these are these are actually editorial drawings. All right, let's see if we can get Fido drawn in here. Yeah, this brush is doing a pretty good job this week, so I'm able to get some really fine lines. Last week it was just horrible as the brush was just spitting all over the place on me. And see, waggly tail. All right. Stormy, why don't you sit up there for a minute here? We'll just play with your drawing for a while. And see, Bo's being a good human. He's giving his dog a hot dog. Good human. How are we doing on time? We are approaching the end of this broadcast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Amazing how that always works out the same. And he's got like a hoodie on and has his drawstrings. And there's a hot dog bun. There's the hot dog itself, and then some sort of like napkin. So we had to get new paper, and we're working here on vellum. I usually use smooth plate Bristol. And I was a little bit worried about the vellum, but I don't notice that much of a difference. Besides, every once in a while, as you see, like right here, you got a slight dry brush look, which I don't mind because it shows off that it's a brush. That you don't see on plate Bristol. The plate makes the brush go smooth and lovely. You fight vellum a little bit. Alright, Stormy, if you move over here. Our last panel. Our character over here has got his back to us, so probably should not even be in the frame, but oh well. And we get a good look here at the secondary dog. Well, thank you for joining us for this week's Fido Live 96, I believe is the number. And we're probably going to end up calling this Drawing Stormy. Hey, Irving, camera one, pull the camera out a little bit so that we'll do our finishing here. And, yeah, Drawing Stormy, what the hell. Fido the comic strip does not endorse any political candidates because we know all the elections are all fraudulent anyway. I come from Massachusetts. My vote doesn't mean shit. They've been doing voter fraud in this state since the beginning. You ever hear the term gerrymandered? Yeah, that came from here. Alright, there's the hot dog. Held by a hot dog. What an interesting piece of marketing there is behind hot dogs. You give it the worst name in the world. Alright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I don't expect to have the chief colorist back until something around Fido 100, if not later than that. No, it's going to be pretty quiet and lonely for us here on the Fido Live broadcasts. Whenever possible, I'll try to get her in on the phone. Get the chief colorist in on the phone, I mean, of course. And we can hear her bright, sunshiny voice and have some hope of her someday returning. But yeah, this is insane. She's been away so long. I'm as a single husband here now. I'm going feral. All right, let's do, and we are done. There we go. Last line. Always remember, you people at home drawing your comic strip along with us, to put the cap back on your ink, because I almost dropped it earlier today. It slipped through my. See, it's probably a bad idea to have it this shape, because it can slide through your fingers, and dropping it with the cap off would be bad. All right, I gotta get that brush washed, and we are out of here. Thank you for joining us for Fido Live 96. Been kind of lonely here, and it's nice to have you guys to talk to. See you next week.